he's got a pretty big credibility crisis on his hands, because all of these problems in some ways showed up after he said something basically the exact opposite. He's got a lot of work to do. The UN speech, look, he's got some credibility issues on the world stage, make sure that people still view America as not just a stable democracy, but a competent leader of the free world.
NBC News host Chuck Todd giving President Biden a scathing criticism about his administration losing trust with not only Americans, but with top world leaders. So are the liberal networks turning on their beloved commander-in-chief? Joining us now to discuss is lawyer and GOP strategist Ford O'Connell and Project 21 member and host of Money Talk with Melanie, Melanie Collette. Thank you both for joining us. Ford, I'll start with you. You know, on the eve of his speech before the United Nations General Assembly, President Biden has a lot working against him and has our allies questioning both his trustworthiness and his credibility.
Well, our allies should be questioning President Biden's trustworthiness and credibility. He's told the entire world that the Afghanistan evacuation was an extraordinary success. And when it comes to Chuck Todd and the liberal media, what took them so long, day in and day out, for the 8 months Joe Biden has been president? He has intentionally lied to the American people and the world. He said he had a plan for COVID. All he's done is made things worse. He said we could spend $1 trillion a month and it wouldn't lead to the worst inflation in 3 decades. And he's told us the borders closed, and yet 1.2 million illegal immigrants have crossed the U.S. southern border. The bottom line is the world and the media are now seeing the Biden facade. All I want to know is, who are the 37% of Americans who think the country's going in the right direction?
Yeah, actually, since you brought that up, let's skip ahead and bring that poll up. Only 37% thinks it's headed in the right direction, as Ford just mentioned, that we're less united. This is what it is. Specifically, 54% think that we're less united, 37% think we're more united. Melanie, your thoughts on that? Because this was supposed to be the uniter-in-chief. He was going to unite this country.
How in the world did anyone think that Obama 2.0 was going to be the uniter-in-chief? When his predecessor, President Obama, his mentor, his outline for what it takes and what it is to be president is Barack Obama, which was one of the most divisive presidents in American history, in my opinion, although he was the first African-American president. So I'm not at all surprised that he's more divisive, and that 54% of the American people absolutely agree that we are more divided now than ever. Plus, when you add COVID into the mix, something really close to home for people is talking about our health. And we're very divided over our health, over the shots, how many we need, whether or not they're politicizing the need for the shots, how many backdoor deals are being made with these pharmaceutical companies to get the shots, and on and on and on. Right now, we cannot trust our government, and that is a fundamental problem. We can't trust them with our health. We can't trust them with our security. When you look at what's going on in Afghanistan and what's going on at the southern border, it is no wonder that we are a heavily divided country.
Yeah, politicizing science, I think, is going to be one of the great lessons to come out of all of this, and it was going to have far-reaching implications down the road. Ford, you went through a list of some of the problems that the Biden administration has going into the UN. Here's what Chuck Todd had to say. He listed some of them out as well. Listen.
And withdrawal wasn't going to be messy. This wasn't going to look like Saigon. The booster shots, he came out and he essentially said 8 months and even indicated maybe we should start it as soon as 5 months. Now we're not sure if anybody under 65 is going to get a booster shot. Of course, the border has been, you know, whether this is, we can talk about the border problems. You could say there's years in the making. But it's pretty clear we have a bigger problem now than we've had in years, and these policies have turned into becoming a magnet.
Add to all of that, situation with China, the UN Secretary General himself saying that he thinks that there's possibly a new Cold War being caused by the U.S., and then you have the situation going on with France and this purchase of submarines by Australia. Ford?
Well, here's the thing with all the problems under the Biden administration. They are self-created. There's no root causes to illegal immigration. They are caused by Biden's policies. We left 1,000 Americans behind in Afghanistan, and Afghanis were falling from airplanes because Biden chose to withdraw at an inopportune time and listen to his generals. We're in the situation we are with China because China's hell-bent on taking over the world. The Biden administration is allowing it to happen.
All right. Melanie, we'll get to you after this break. Everybody stand by, because coming up, we're going to talk about this. Stars packing this year's Emmy Awards, but many seen not wearing masks or socially distancing. Even the host of the show, one of them, called them out. Our panel will react to that up next.